Hello again, tiny humans and everyone watching this at home. We are on page 44 in lesson 1.6 of our Go Math books for grade 2. So we're going to go over the model and draw together. Just like we did the number 26 in 3 different ways on the last page, right now we're going to look at the number 32 and see that there are some different ways to show the number 32 or the value of 32. So let's look at this top picture right here. What do we notice? Well, how many 10s do we have up here? 1, 2, 3. All right, so we know, you can trace this in your book as we go, that we have 3 10s, and we're trying to get to 32. So let's look at our 1s. How many 1s do we have here in this model? If you said 2, you are absolutely correct. We have 2 1s. So if we take our 3 10s and our 2 1s, we can write it out in expanded form. So we know that 3 10s is actually what value? Well, if we count by 10s, 10, 20, 30. We counted 3 10s and that got us to the number 30. So go ahead and trace that in your book for me. And then we know that we have 2 1s. So the value of 32 can be shown as 3 10s and 2 1s, or written in expanded form as 30 plus 2. Let's look at our next way. Oh my goodness, this looks complicated, but fortunately we're going to break it down so we can make this a little bit easier to show the value again of the number 32. So we look here, how many 10s do we see? Let's not look at the 1s right now, let's just focus in on the 10s. How many 10s do we see in this middle picture? 2. So we have 2 10s, and then we have a whole smorgasbord of 1s. So now that we know we have 2 10s, let's count how many 1s we have in this picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So how many 1s do we have in that center picture? We have 12. So let's write in our 12 1s. All right, now they want us to do this in expanded form. So if we have 2 10s, what does that equal to? Well, if we have 2 10s, 10, 20, that means we have 20. So 2 10s is equal to 20. And how many 1s did we say we have? We have 12 1s. So if we have 2 10s or 20 and 12 1s, this is also going to give us the number or the value of 32. Just like 3 10s and 2 1s gave us the value of 32. So there are 2 ways to show the value of 32. Let's move on to a final and third way to show 32. All right, so just like we started with the other problems, let's look and see how many 10s we have. Well, I see 1 10 rod, so let's put our 1 in here. Now, again, we have a lot of 1s to count up. So I'm going to give you guys a second to pause this video if you need to, and I want you to count up how many 1s you have in this last way to show the value of 32. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to, and count up how many 1s you have in this last way to show the value of 32. Okay, if you took that time to count them up, you would find that you have 22 1s. So go ahead and trace that in your books for me. You have 22 1s. So now we can say that 32, or another way to show the value of 32, is to say we have 1 10, which we know in expanded form, 1 10 is equal to 10, and we have 22 1s. And if we combined those and we added them together, we would, oh my goodness, imagine that, end up with the number or the value 32. I want you to think for a minute at what was the most efficient or the quickest way to solve that problem. That's a lot of 1s, and there's a very easy or a very big chance that you might lose track of some of those ones. I know that's very difficult to do. So the most efficient way to draw would be to do 3 10s, because we know that 3 10s is equal to 30, and our 2 1s to get us the value of our 32. But this is just showing you that there's more than one way to get or draw the value of a number. So now let's look at number 1 here in our share and show. It says these blocks show the numbers in different ways. Describe the blocks in 2 ways. They're not asking for 6 ways, they're not asking for 12 ways. That would take you all day. And frankly, we don't have time for that. So what it wants you to do is draw out the number in 2 ways. They give you 3 spots just in case you're feeling ambitious though. So let's look at this first one, and we'll do this one together, and then we'll do one of the ways for number 2, and you guys can figure out how to do it the other 2 ways. So let's check it out. First step is to look and see how many 10s do we have here. We're trying to find and model the number or the value 28. So I see I have 1, 2 groups of 10. So I'm going to write 2 here in my 10 spot because we know we have 2 10s. Now let's count up how many 1s we see here. How many 1s did y'all count? Yeah, we counted 8 1s. So if we have 2 10s and 8 1s, that will give us the value of 28. And if we write it out in expanded form, take a second for me here to write out what 2 10s would look like in expanded form and what our 1s would look like. So if I wrote 2 10s, it would look like 20, and then my 8 1s. And if we combined those, our 10s and our 1s, we would end up with 28. So now that we've done this first one together, I want you guys to go through and solve these 2, and I'll model this one for you too. So take a second if you want to continue with the video, and I'll show you how to model number 35, that's fine. Or if you want me to pause, or you can pause, so you can do the other 2 ways to write out 28, that's fine too. So take a second and decide what you want to do, and then I'll get ready to model number 2, or the value of 35. Okie dokie, Smokies, here we go for number 35. So let's take a look here and see how many 10s we have. What do you see? I see 3 10s. And for 1s, I see 5 1s. Now, if we wrote that in expanded form, what would 3 10s look like in expanded form? I would write it as 30. So I have 30, and then I have 5 1s. And if we put those together, we end up with 35. So what you're going to do is, if you haven't written out the other 2 ways to write 28 or the value of 28, please do that now. And then go ahead and give me your other 2 ways to do the number or the value 35. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you're having a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.